third innings there. 2 runs surrendered, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. Let's see how she fares with one of the toughest lineups to deal with in the country. Defensively for Wichita State, Gabby Scott has been a mainstay behind the dish these last couple of games. Although yesterday with Central Arkansas being here, we got a little taste of Caitlin Beckerly. But it's Gabby Scott who's in the starting lineup once again. Sammy Hood and Taylor Solacek manning the middle. A look at the series history. Oklahoma commands a dominating lead, 56-7. OU 14-3 in Wichita, including a shutout last year, 7-0. Oklahoma has already played Wichita State. Took place on February 23rd, and the Sooners ended up getting the W 8-1. It was Sam Landry who went 5 2/3 for Oklahoma, had 10 strikeouts, just 3 hits generated by the Wichita State offense. Beautiful day for some softball, sellout crowd. Number 2 team in the country in the house.
Yeah,
as a former player, I would imagine that this is exactly what it's all about.
Yes, it is. See, in a game like this,
can't wait to see what Oklahoma can bring to the table here in the brand new week. Starting things off, Abigail Dayton for OU, and she watches the first one for a called ball. Dayton, the junior, batting average of .321 this season. The one thing you got to get used to in the Oklahoma lineup, good amount of lefties. That was the one thing you said as soon as you saw the lineup. Look at all the lefties, and what does that do when you have a pitcher like Alex Aguilar who is a righty trying to combat that?
I mean, I will say Alex Aguilar is pretty well at hitting that inside corner for lefties, which is not always a plan of attack for most people, and that could also be why she's the starter this game, because she's able to hit that inside and not be afraid to move in a little bit on those hitters. So, I mean, it could go either way. I don't know. Alex has had some pretty good games in her, her repertoire with the really good teams. I mean, those top teams she's pitching against, so.
Things go for Oklahoma. This is a team that is patient at the plate, a team that is really good at drawing walks, and no surprise, Dayton gets a leadoff walk to start things off. And now we see Nelly McEnroe Marinas. That one in there for a called strike. McEnroe Marinas against Mizzou, homered in each game against the Tigers.
Lord.
She's actually recorded a home run in 5 of the last 7. Runner takes off here in Dayton, but it ends up going foul. So another pitch coming for Nelly McEnroe Marinas. Redshirt freshman out of the state of Hawaii. Had to redshirt last year after sustaining a season-ending injury in the preseason. But it doesn't seem to be affecting her this year with a batting average of .409.
And she is just aggressive. That could also be why she sees so much success, because she's aggressive. She's ready to hit. I mean, she's not afraid. She has confidence in that box.
Oklahoma with 60 home runs as a unit this season. She's responsible for 10 of them. Runner was dancing around for a moment, trying to test the arm and awareness of the catcher, Gabby Scott. McEnroe Marinas, 38 hits in total.
Impressive.
And bag to be claimed by McEnroe Marinas, and Oklahoma already off and running here in the first inning with a couple of runners on the bags.
Yeah, just a good hit, good solid hit, and then you got a bobble, and Oklahoma is going to capitalize. They're a great team, good athletes. They're well aware of their strong suits.
Well, the one thing you mentioned, Wichita State is going to be amped up, but sometimes that can result in maybe some misplays defensively.
For sure. Sometimes you get a little too amped up and you're not able to calm yourself down. You put a little bit too much pressure on yourself. So, you know, it could go one or both ways.
Cassidy Pickering batting third for Oklahoma today, the left fielder. Sophomore out of Humboldt, Texas. Has 2 runners in scoring position and a 2-0 calendar favorite. Made an immediate impact as a true freshman in 2024, earning an everyday role, playing the outfield, anchored the heart of the Sooner order. Appeared in all 66 games, slash line of 389, 513, and 705. Ranked third on the club in on-base percentage. And that's the thing with Oklahoma, even though names might be different, you're not used to the big ones that hang around for 4 years. Well, you do have players like this who are freshmen or in their sophomore campaigns, and you just look at them and go, oh, they still have a couple more years to go before they get to their moment where they're a 4th-year player. And they're already producing at such a young age. That's what makes it dangerous for so many teams out there in the country.
Yes. They're only able to grow over the years, especially with their coaching. I mean, they're getting great athletes recruited in, and then they're able to just build them and continue to build them.
3-0 count. She got the green light, but Pickering ends up fouling it off. You have 3 sophomores in the starting lineup for Oklahoma today. 2 freshmen, 3 juniors. Starting pitcher is a junior, and you have 1 senior of the season for Bland. And now Dayton, talked about Bland having just 3 RBI. Well, Dayton's got 3. She has a chance to maybe make it 5 runs batted in if she can find a sweet spot in the outfield. Alex Aguilar trying to close things out. 0-2 count now. Oklahoma finding some good spots early on here in the contest. Went after the 0-2 and just fouled it off. Abigail Dayton, 2025 preseason All-SEC. 3rd-team All-American when she played with Utah. Just hanging in there, just protecting the plate, staying at 0-2. Season ago at Utah, batted .431, also was a stellar defender. No 2 ends up hooking foul. And we'll see another pitch here. Just chopping away just to make sure that Alex Aguilar doesn't get the punch out.
She just keeps shortening up her swing. She's doing what she needs to do, fouling off until she gets the pitch she wants. So composed.
That scoreboard because she used it as a target. 2nd home run for Ellie Eck as a Wichita State Shocker. Wichita State trims it to 7. Heck of a way to start for Wichita State. You give up 8 in the top half, and your first hitter goes yard.
That's awesome.
Lauren Lucas, starting right fielder. Extended her hitting streak to 12 games with a hit yesterday for WSU in that 6-1 win over Central Arkansas. It was an RBI double for her. And that 5-run win. Two have Georgia, being at number 3. Shockers are there at 4. Virginia Tech at 5. Home run ball hasn't quite been there for Wichita State and Georgia like previous seasons, but when you lose some familiar names like an Addie Barnard, naturally you think that the production would dip a little bit. Sydney Sanders, well, she's used to hitting home runs, 51 in her career. Ranks 6th among all active Division I softball players.
Ooh, that ball had some spin on it.
Sanders last year with 15 home runs, 3rd on the team, but also drew walks at a high rate, 43.
Oh.
This one would have been long gone had it stayed fair, but instead of hooks just to the left. She'll have to try back and try to do it all over again. But we're starting to hear the pop now.
Talking about those fireworks. You got those fireworks coming off them bats. They are passing that bat.
And Sanders, she'd like to get back on track. She was 1 for 7 in the series against Mizzou. Fouls this one off to make it 2-2. But as good as Sanders has been with homers, the walk game has been great too. 4th in Division I with career walks with 140.
Wow.
Downstairs, and here she is working it back to a 3-2 count. Last year batted just .242, but this year firmly in the 300s. 3-2 got underneath it. And ends up going foul. All the fans on high alert. And boy, are there a lot of fans in the stands here for today.
Yeah, it's looking pretty packed out there. That's what I like to see.
And all of them getting a chance to look over at a new building that is currently being constructed. Wichita State investing in the softball program. The Christy Brebender leading the charge. Over 400 wins now in a career. First one down to the bottom of the second.
Good aggressive base running from Epperson, but as you can see, Coach Brebender is smiling at her, laughing because she probably should have not gone. But, you know, sometimes being aggressive gets you another base.
Well, when you look at the situation the Shockers are in, you're down by 8. You might as well gamble a little bit more.
Yeah, try it a little bit.
Because you never know. Sammy Hood looking to bring her home. Sammy Hood yesterday against Central Arkansas ended up going 2 for 3. She singled in the 5th, although the ball didn't go very far. She tried to get the ball down with a bunt. Instead, it popped up. Here she is showing a bump for a moment, but pulls back. But in the 6th, now that hit went a little further. That one went over the left field fence, but you had to wait for a moment because it was hugging that left field line. Ends up staying fair. Of the inning for Oklahoma. Cassidy Pickering with a 7-game hit streak now. Brings her home run total up to 10 after that one. (14-3) Oklahoma. Gabby Garcia. She's the one that had a 2-run blast in the second frame to get the home run derby started for Oklahoma. 2 for 2 with 3 runs batted in. She's just been super impressive. Already named SEC Player of the Week just a couple of days ago. And you want to know how good she has it? She became the first Oklahoma freshman since Jocelyn Allo in 2018 to homer in 5 consecutive games.
Wow.
If your name is associated with her, is that a good thing? I think it would be.
I think so. One of the best players I've ever seen.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Gabby Garcia. Yeah, those home runs taking place against Kansas,
Woo.
Marshall, Kansas City, and then 2 against South Carolina.
Just an impressive offense. I don't even know what to say because they're just impressive. They got it like that. I don't know. Well, nice. Right up the middle.
Nothing fancy there for Solacek, who now has her RBI total up to 19 on the year. Solacek was unable to come up with an RBI yesterday against Central Arkansas, but she's been able to drive in a run in 4 of the last 5 contests for Wichita State. Maybe another player that's getting hot at the plate for WSU.
Ooh.
Compton ends up fouling it off.
It's just refreshing that she's able to come back from an injury. You know, she didn't play every game at the beginning of this season, and now she is, and she came ready, and she's doing so well, and that's what you like to see. Sometimes coming back from injuries are really difficult, and you know, obviously she took it head on, and she's doing her thing now. It's really cool.
A couple years back in 2023, she batted 188, had 3 home runs total. She has doubled that this year. Went with a check swing here. I know the Oklahoma fans wanted that to be a punch out for Deal. Instead, Cam Compton will get another chance here. Yeah, there's one fan. You can hear that one pretty good. Good amount of Oklahoma fans in the stands. Of course, that shouldn't surprise anyone considering just how great of a program they've been. And everyone wondered what it would have been like for them going over to the SEC. Well, here this year with 1 up, 1 down. Agbayani now to the plate. She is 1 for 2 today, singled back in the first. Agbayani coming from BYU, established herself as one of the best hitters in a breakout sophomore campaign for the Cougars. Ended up starting 52 games as the everyday shortstop, but a shortstop that can get on base for the best of them. .424 being the batting average. 1.128 OPS. Did not strike out all that much. Had 7 Ks in 208 plate appearances last year.
Wow.
I'm sure some might recognize the last name, Agbayani. Dad, Benny, played 400 games across 5 seasons of Major League Baseball. Played for the Mets, the Rockies, the Red Sox. She had a sister that played collegiate softball at California, BYU. Has a brother that's committed to play Wichita State. But it wasn't that long ago. You and I were here. North Texas was in town. And I didn't think that was that far along. And now you see it just maybe a week or two later, and all of a sudden, oh, hey, something's really coming together, something really, really special here on the campus at Wichita State University. We're set to see our third Oklahoma pitcher. It's 15th appearance on the year. An ERA of 104. Just 9 earned runs surrendered over 60 1/3 innings.
Yeah, that's insane. Much respect for her.
Kirsten Deal started this game for Oklahoma. Peyton Monticelli followed, but after dealing back-to-back walks, now we see Sam Landry, who has already faced Wichita State once this season. It was an 8-1 win for Oklahoma back in February. Landry ended up going 5 2/3 and struck out 10. And after the first couple pitches, you can probably see why. That's a good variety in her bag of tricks for Oklahoma.
Movement is insane. The difference between fast and slow is, it's a big bridge, so really effective pitching. Wow.
Taylor Solacek, who's 2 for 2, down to count 1-2. What's probably even more impressive about Sam Landry? She deals the 1-2 outside. 9 earned runs given up, right? 5 came in one game, and it was her first outing against San Diego State. So she has given up 4 the rest of the way. 2-2 from Landry. Inside. And bonus for Wichita State as it gets by the catcher. Runners advance, and 2 runners are in scoring position for Wichita State. Three, 2 from lane catcher's interference. We'll get a review here just to double check on that. And that is correct. Went right down on the glove. I thought maybe for a moment that somehow went in and maybe got a piece of her, but mistake. Catcher's interference loads the bags for Wichita State. And a very dangerous hitter to the plate for Wichita State and Cameron Compton.
She's very dangerous right now.
Oh, and Landry roped that one by Emmerling. Fortunately, the backstop was favorable for Oklahoma.
I'm just going to say it. That ball must be pretty fast because I am here behind that wall, and I felt it hit. She's got some strength. I don't know what she's got going on, but oh my.
Well, her season best this year in strikeouts was 11, and that was against San Diego State in the first game. Had 10 against Wichita State. Last time she played at Mizzou and had 9 Ks. Ended up going the distance. One ball, 1 strike, bottom of the 4th. Bases loaded, nobody down. 5-run game.
Yeah, this is a battle. Oh, no. Oh, she takes it good.
Compton ended up getting a piece. Cameron Compton with a 2-run blast back in the 3rd. runs all season, with the Shockers reaching 11. And Gabby Scott trying to keep things moving. Freshman at a big spot here for Wichita State. Gabby Scott today grounded out to short back in the second, walked in the third frame. And then she was sent home courtesy of a big hit for Sammy Hood. 1 ball, 1 strike as Landry grooves that one in there. Landry gets the call there. It's 1-2. In case you're wondering, the 11 runs for Wichita State, the series since 1998. The most amount of runs scored by the Shockers against Oklahoma had been 7. And that was back in 2021 when the Shockers fell 24-7 down to Norman.
Yes, I was there.
Sure, it was a long day, even for Miss Energy like you.
I mean, it was still really fun, though.
Two coming from Landry. Scott. And now we do see Cassidy Pickering coming up to the plate.
Now the plate for the Sooners, Cassidy Pickering.
Our first 2 plate appearances ending with walks. Scored both times, and then in the third had a 2-run homer. She now is in double figures with long balls up 10 after that one. Barber takes some off it. 1 ball, 1 strike. This one off the plate. Oklahoma with 15 runs. The most for the Sooners all season has been 17. And just based on how this game has gone, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some more runs get put on the board.
Yeah, both offenses are just going crazy today.
Parker's like, hey, hold on. And now they're going to go take a look. This is the best angle.
Oh.
Sure didn't. They did not hit the foot of Barker, at least on that angle.
Yeah, I didn't see any contact, but you know, who am I to say?
Well, we've had some that are close, but this one sure looks like it didn't hit her. And if it did, it would have just been really just a little, like maybe a grazing there. But there you go, take a look. Maybe allowing fans to catch their breath a little bit as they see 30 combined runs on the board. And coming up after this, some fireworks for the fans that made the trek out this way. But who knows what we're going to see? We still have a couple more innings left.
Yes, we do.
Unless Oklahoma, of course, is able to get a couple more and then hold Wichita State scoreless in the bottom of the 5th. But that's unlikely to happen just based on what we've seen at this point, because the Shockers scored 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 6 in the third, and then 3 in the fourth. Chelsea Clark Jonathan Dewhurst are the ones taking a look at it. And it ends up being confirmed.
It is confirmed
The batter is out. Well, there's the first out of the fifth inning. Agbayani now at the plate for Oklahoma. Runner in scoring position at second base. Keep in mind that's Helton who checked in. Agbayani singled in the first, flew out to third, walked in the fourth. Ended up trying to lay this one down. Ended up having to come back for a moment. I know we don't have a camera in the booth, but I just love the fact that when you start talking about some of the family histories, your reaction over here is just quite gold.
I don't
Because when
understand how they
talking
can all
about
be
that was a tough one there, showing the speed, but I bet Christy Bremer will take a look, and it sure looked like there was some separation, just a little bit. Looks like they're not going to go look at it. And they're going to rule that as an error. And now it's a hit for Oklahoma. That's the fourth one. This is Isabella Emmerling. She had a home run back in the third. RBI single in the first. Flew out to center in the fourth, and the fifth walked. Slager hanging in there. Coming into the game, replacing Chloe Barber, who took a shot off her wrist. Hopefully she's okay for Wichita State. Shocker fans might remember what happened yesterday with Riley Neihart, as she took a shot right off the shin. Runner goes. This one fouled by Emmerling. It's been an amazing game here in Wichita, 19-16. It's been a marathon. First pitch taking place at 6 o'clock, and here we are getting ready for 9 here at Wichita.
It's been a long one, but it's been fun.
It's been worth it, though. That record-breaking crowd has to be loving every second. Now, I know there have been some in right field that have moved away from the bleachers, but those that are hanging around are enjoying every second. This has been worth the price of admission. Slager went inside, and Emmerling trying to work in another walk. Board.
I think that one went into the streets.
That one was far.